Hey, this is Josh,
Hey, and this is Mike.
and this is Must See Before You Die reaction slash review of The Last of Us Episode 1. Now, just a little background on this. I have played the game The Last of Us about 15 times and beat it every time. I love this game. So when I saw they were bringing out a show, especially a show on HBO, I was like, okay, this is going to be really good because the story of that game is awesome. My girlfriend, who is not really a gamer at all, she'll sometimes just watch for the cutscenes because they're really good. And and Mike is on a different side of that coin. Mike, kind of tell what your relation with this is.
Yeah, and that was your girlfriend at the time. She's your wife now. But
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, happy 1 year anniversary, by the way, coming
yeah.
up. So yeah, I know nothing about the game, nothing about the comic. I mean, if there was, I don't know if there was a comic book or what about
No,
it. I know
no.
nothing
It's
about
just a
it
game. It's just a video
whatsoever.
game. Yeah.
So yeah, my perspective is from a 50-plus-year-old that has no clue about the video game or anything.
Okay. Yep.
So it should be two good contrasts of somebody that's been really engaged with it over the years playing the video game versus somebody that's just watching it to watch it.
Right. Okay. So, what are some of your initial thoughts about the show, Mike?
I thought it initially, man, it was just wide open at the very beginning of it. It grabbed me and my family into it. My wife and my son watched it with me as well, and he's 12 years old. Um, and it sucked us in right off the bat. I mean, I kind of had that Walking Dead feel to it because we'd watched all the up to the last season. We'd watched all those, and it sucked me in. I really liked the daughter in it. She really pulled us into her, pulling on heartstrings. I thought the acting was great. I'm hooked. I'm ready to watch number two.
Right. So, if you haven't watched it, this is spoilers. Obviously, we're gonna talk about it. His daughter actually ends up dying in the beginning. Her name is Sarah, and it takes place in the early 2000s. And she ends up dying. Like the army is told to kill them, like because they don't know what's going on, but they are just told to execute them because she was injured and they didn't know how. And if she has a bite or a scratch or whatever, she could turn into an infected or whatever. Um, I liked the thing with the daughter. Sarah went into that house and saw the neighbors all like, none of that's in the game. That's not in the game.
Okay.
And I thought that was a really cool addition. And then Tommy and Joel. Tommy is Sarah's uncle, and Joel is her father. And they get in this truck, and it's an awesome scene in the truck. In the game, this is also a scene, but it takes place in a Jeep. And they're driving through, and they're seeing that house on fire in the game. They drive past a couple that's stranded on the road. That's in the game. And you just see all this stuff unraveling in town and everything, when just like in the show, and it is pretty awesome. And I think the show did a great job of that. What did you think of that scene from when they get in the truck and then drive to the town till they have the accident with the airplane? What did you think of all that scene, Mike?
Man, it was like I said earlier, wide open. I mean, it
Yeah,
was. I mean, you had people eating other people or chewing on them or eating on them, and it just. I mean, it was like wow. I mean, it was the whole feel. Like I said, was like it was the end of the world. I mean,
right.
you had airplanes flying over, helicopters. I mean, for somebody that didn't play the video game, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't
Yeah,
know. I love the very beginning of the movie though, or the show, where it had the two doctors on there, and they were talking about what the difference between a fungus is versus something else spreading, and that kind of laid the groundworks for what
right.
I thought was going to happen, and for probably for future down the road. But yeah, I mean, it just like it popped me right in the face. I loved it.
Right. So unlike like just normal zombies, this is like a fungus that grows in your brain, and it basically takes you over. And as the longer you have it, the more vicious you become, and you turn like from just like a normal like zombie person. I can't remember what they call those guys, but and then you turn into a clicker where actually the fungus grows through your head and splits your head open and it grows out. and then you
That
become
was what was trying to come out of the lady's mouth then, is what you're trying to say? Again, for somebody that's not played a video game, there was an old lady that was eating on somebody and then she had something coming out of her mouth.
Yeah, that was just the fungus, I think,
Okay.
growing out. It wasn't like a, just like a fungus growing out. And so who knows how long she's had it, you know what I mean? And it just started affecting her. Um, but they can be killed, obviously, with gunshot to the head or trauma to the head or whatever. But and you can get infected by bites and all that, just like zombies. But there's a final stage where they become a bloater, and you'll see those later in the show. But man, at the end of this episode, where they find out that Ellie, so their mission is Joel and his girlfriend Tess. Later, 20 years later, after all the stuff with the daughter and stuff, you jump 20 years in the future, and it's like a post-apocalyptic world, and the kind of like, I don't know if it's the government or what it is, but it kind of controls a lot of stuff, and you got to do all these things, and it's not easy to like make money or anything like that. And you had to live a hard life to even be alive, really.
Well, the scene that really got us, Josh, watching it, and we didn't know anything about it, I don't know if it's in the video game or not, was the little boy or little girl that came walking like through there, and they brought them in, and then they tested them, and then I think it showed up as red. And see, I don't know what that meant. So I was like, was that mean he's negative or is he positive? I don't know what it meant. And then they're like being real nice to the kid, and there's like, you're going to get to eat whatever you want to, you're going to get to play whatever you want to. And then boom, the next thing you know, it goes to another scene where they're throwing bodies in and burning them, and he's one of the bodies. And I was like, whoa. So
Yeah.
I guess the red meant that he was positive.
Right. So yeah, they no, that's not in the game at all. That's something that was added. But you've seen how Joel's pretty heart. I mean, he's just numbed everything. He just grabbed that kid and through him in a fire. Didn't give a care. You know what I mean? So Joel,
another way was like, I can't do it, and he's like, right, no problem with me. I'll do it.
Joel is really, he's rough. He's had to do a lot in the last 20 years. A lot of things he's probably not proud of, but he's a survivor. So, but his girlfriend Tess and him are going to take this girl Ellie across the country. It's like a mission of theirs. They're going to get paid to get a battery and all this stuff so they can go see his brother Tommy if he's okay or whatever. And so, and when they're taking this girl Ellie out, they don't get told why they're doing it. And along the way, they sneak out of the quarantine zone into like the normal out in the open where you can kind of do whatever. And the soldier gets them and he starts testing them, and he tests Ellie and she's positive for the virus. And Joel and Ellie didn't know that, or Joel and Tess didn't know that. They didn't know anything about it. So they're like, what? Joel ends up beating this guy to death. I mean, just slugging his face out, Mike.
He had a flashback. Awesome. He had a flashback of the guy that was going to kill his daughter. Yeah,
the guy did kill his daughter.
Huh?
The guy that did kill his daughter. He didn't was going to kill his daughter.
Right.
And he was just beating this guy in the face till he was dead. And they asked Ellie and she's like, "Oh, I was bit, but it's 3 weeks old," and it showed it was kind of getting healed. And she goes, "Somebody got bit like this couldn't survive a day. Like you wouldn't survive a day if you got bit like that." So they're like, okay. So they go outside this fence, and then they pan up, and it is an awesome shot, Mike. It's just deserted cars, buildings. It's got like and this is from the game, Mike. This shot's from the game where one of like the skyscrapers is leaning up against another skyscraper. That's in the game, and you actually have to go through those buildings, Mike, and it is awesome.
Okay.
I hope that's what the next episode is.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm excited for what's to come. Very excited. The acting is really good. So far, the acting's really good. No doubt.
So, Josh, you want to go ahead and tell you what we've seen so far on Rotten Tomatoes, what Rotten Tomatoes is saying?
Well, the Rotten Tomatoes score I saw was 98% of the critics and 88% of the audience, which is probably the highest thing that we've ever reviewed ever on our channel.
Yeah.
Huh?
Really high score.
I mean, that's got to be the highest we've ever reviewed on our channel for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I don't know if that's the first episode or the whole series as a whole. I didn't read that far, but definitely very high, and I think it deserves it. I can't wait for the next. I mean, it's 9. I think I heard it's 9 episodes, and man, it's a roller coaster. Mike, get ready, man. It's a roller coaster ride. What does it say?
Yeah, right there it is, a 98 and an 89 from Rotten Tomatoes.
It says 8. Oh, it went up, Mike. It was only 88 when I showed you a little while ago.
Yeah, so I think more and more people are probably watching it and scoring it as we go. So next time we do another episode, we'll see what the score is in.
Now we won't be able to do it. Now we won't be able to actually. Won't be able to do the next 2 episodes, but we will once
go back.
Yeah, once we get back from our vacation, Mike's actually going on the same vacation as me. We will go back and do these and, just get caught up on them, because this is a show we want to stay up on. Yeah. Definitely. It's awesome.
Hey, so what do y'all think that are watching this? What are your reactions to it? Have you played video games before, like that guy? Or me, you've never played anything. What is your point of view on this? So you got 2 contrasts here on what we think about it. We both agree it was really good. But those that have played the video games, and maybe if you haven't played the video games, give your comments below and let us know. And we'll keep doing this every week, and just do this whole series and see how it goes.
Yeah, and Mike, so what? So your overall, like for episode 1, what would you score it? Between 1 and 5?
I would, out of a 5, I'd probably give it a 4.5. I mean, I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
it was really good.
What a way to! I mean, yeah, like I said, what a way to start the show off.
What would you give it, Josh?
Yeah, I'm going 5, dude. I'm saying it's a way to it might have been a little slow in the middle, but it has to be. It can't all be.
It's 9 episodes for the first season.
Right.
I don't know what the contractional thing is for this, but it had to set the story up. For somebody like me that's not played a video game, I needed to know some of this stuff.
Right. So I thought it was very good. So, yep. And we will talk to you guys later. Oh, we do have a Facebook page. Go click on that and go there and join. It's called Must See Before You Die Horror Community.
Yeah, and we'll talk about, even in this video, you can comment below it, but we'll talk about horror movies coming out and some of the videos we do as well in that community page. So
that's right.
You guys have a great one.
See you guys.
Tell us what you think. Bye.
Let us know. Bye.